For people who want to know what is the Keith Andrew Network, the whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities, and never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so prove to them to stand out to something.
If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright.
Hi, my name is Jasmin Arroyo. I was on the Keith Andrew Network, and it was just a fun experience. Great questions. We got to know each other better. So if you have the opportunity, please take the time to reach out and get seen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. This is 1002. That is right. This is episode 1002. And our guest is only on the Keith Andrew Network. You may have seen her in upcoming films, but she's only here supporting people with disabilities and being a guest on the Keith Andrew Network. So that being said, we heard your recommendation of you introducing yourself. So I'm going to ask you a lot of easy questions, a lot of hard-hitting ones. You can ask me anything, but this is not about me. This is about you. So The first thing I want to talk to you about, I want to ask you all 15 of my acting questions. So with that being said, first question I want to ask you, let's see. Actually, I guess I might as well start from the bottom, work my way up. As a hint on my show, you need to dig a hole and then see what you can build out of it. I know, I'm bad. I suck at metaphors, so don't mind me. No. So the first question I want to ask you, number 15, how do you handle stress and pressure as an actress?
Well, sometimes I'll just take it easy, take deep breaths, just, take a moment to think about what I'm there for. Sometimes it's very, very, very long days. They tell us we're going to start this time and end this time, and 9 times out of 10, you're there longer than you need to be. And sometimes you're the problem. Sometimes it's someone else, it's hard sometimes to get your lines right and so many interruptions, but it's just like, this is what I love doing and this is what I'm here for. So I just kind of, anytime you can take a quick break, just take a deep breath and just refocus and get back in there.
No, absolutely. And that's the same thing how I feel about my talk show. I'm always under pressure, trying to please everyone, trying to make sure to ask the right questions, don't ask stupid questions. I live at home, so I'm always being criticized. So I don't ask this. But, like the same thing exactly. You're always going to be under scrutiny. But that doesn't really make a difference. It's how you handle stress and being under pressure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Actually, you're talking about, by the way, that was a hashtag Keith Andrew Network. I'm happy you said that. Absolutely. And it's funny, you should say that because I always end my sentences with absolutely.
See, we're on the same page here.
No, absolutely. Now I'm going to say it, absolutely. So the next question I want to ask you, number 14, what is your biggest failure as being an actress, and what did you learn from it?
I would have to say my biggest failure as being an actress is not just going for it sometimes. I second guess a lot of what I'm doing, as far as when it comes to roles. And I'm hard on myself, I think. I'm really hard on myself. And sometimes I see roles and I'm like, oh, it's not fit for me. They don't want me. And then I regret it. Then I turn around and I'm like, what if I would have just submitted, So I think that's my biggest failure, is not just putting forth the effort to just even try, whether I get it or not.
And your big cheerleader in the room, I do hear your dog agreeing with you.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. He chooses the best times to chime in.
He's more than welcome to be on the show. What type of dog do you have?
He is a pocket bully, so he's just like a miniature or tiny, pit bull. But yeah, every time he hears a noise or something, he's like on alert and he starts that little crying, barking.
No, absolutely. One thing I would recommend, going off subject, is have you ever gone to dog training? I would recommend dog training, and doggy daycare is really good for socializing. Too bad there's no people daycare for people our age. But
yeah, definitely. We definitely need that. There's some people out there that I'm just like, unbelievable, but
my parents' dog, her name is Arroyo. So every Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays, she has a better social life than I do. She goes to doggy daycare.
Okay, yeah, we have to think about that. We got a cat for him, thinking, they would get along, and they do. They're really good together, but the cat doesn't care for him, so he's still lonely.
Understandable. Hey, he's gonna get him a friend.
Right. Yeah, we're working that. He needs another one of him, and then we'll be good.
So the next one I want to ask you, I want to answer it. So it's fair because I asked you a question and you answer it. I should answer it too, to be fair. So it's not one-sided. My biggest failure is I always set myself up to fail, not deliberately, but with my talk show for doing this for 1,002 episodes for 10 years. I should have had the permission forms at the start. I shouldn't have let their comments get to me later on. You're hurting my career, all that stupid BS. I should be like, hey, you signed it, you got to honor it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, my biggest goal was 1,000. So I interviewed multiple people like 3 times. Looking back, I'm like, why didn't I interview this person 3 times? They're freaking horrible. And now going forward, for us to do a part 2, you have to get over 100. That's not directed at you. You have to get over 100 views. Now I know that you, someone else who I interviewed, gets 100 views. People want to see more of you, not me. They want to see more of you. Someone who has 10 views, I'm not even gonna bother. Mm-hmm. Unless they change that magically, it's magically delicious, but you know how bad, but wishful thinking. But the next question I'm going to ask you, number 13, what are you working on right now?
Right now, I am just working on my acting skills. I'm constantly looking for casting calls and things that I can be a part of, whether it be commercial, film. But on waiting for that, I'm in the process of just making myself better. And I'm also just trying to be easier on myself and just trying to be more positive and more focused on my acting and not just tearing myself down all the time. So it's pretty easy to do, and especially in this, when you see so many actors and actresses and they're landing roles after roles after roles, and you just kind of like, you're just like, what's wrong with me? But then I also understand that everyone's situation is different as well. So I can't compare myself. So I'm just working on me and getting to that better stage in my acting where maybe I can get a lot more coming in.
We're in the same boat, because every day I'm working on myself being a better and better talk show host. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was talking to my friend, Scotty, and he said, because I want to be a part of the restaurant industry. He said, to be honest, you want me to be honest? I'm going to be honest. You have your head up your ass because you have a disability. You are going to be limited to what you can do. And you know what pisses me off? And it wasn't the fact that pissed me off. What pisses me off, you look at people like JoJo. You look at people like Ryan. You look at people like Logan Paul has his show, and he had these 2 schmucks on there that had tattoos all over. They're white. They're not. If they were black, they'd be like, oh, that's cool. They're gangster. No, they're white. white people don't get tattoos all over their face because you look like you belong in a mental institution. And so they had these couple of Hawaiian boys or whatever the hell was tattoos over their face, like, Jesus Christ. And they say I'm retarded because I fall under the spectrum of being retarded. And I'm like, is this really the competition? But I'm up like, I can do laps around with these kids. They go, yo, man, you're going lapper. No, don't do that. You're not black. You're white. You're not Jamaican.
Mhm.
It says, I get it. Stupid things get people interested, and they say, "How fast can this thing go?" But I've been passed over for 10 years. No one wants to know my story. No one wants to hear about me. But just these two idiots with tattoos on their face. But that's completely fine. That's normal.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's me and my rant. I'm
No,
trying
I
hard.
completely agree with you because I see the same thing sometimes, and I'm just like, how is this getting so many views? How? And I'm just like, I can't sit through all this. I don't know how some people do it, but I don't want to make a fool of myself being something that I'm not just for views. So I'm like, you know what? If you're not interested in me because I'm not out there doing crazy or dumb things, then just keep it moving because this is how I am.
No, I agree. That's on the KeithAndrewNetWork. We're keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
Try to have fun with everyone. But that's the thing. As long as you're laughing and enjoying yourself, it's real. It's not predetermined. We didn't talk about this before we got started. I'm feeding off your energy, and I love your energy. You're down to earth. And I
Yeah.
wish I can hang out with you because I love your personality and your energy. Other
Thank you.
people you look at, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm going through emotions, going through that song, going through emotions. But if you're really give a damn about what you're doing, it's going to show. But that's my little piece about that. Number 12, what has been your greatest achievements?
My greatest achievements.
I know you got to see your kids.
Yes, definitely. Without them, I don't know where I would be because, as much as they drive me crazy, I couldn't imagine a day without them. But aside from that, I want to say where I'm at right now in my acting. And I know this goes back to acting a lot, but it's just really because I started late in my life. I'm not one of those that I didn't have a childhood in entertainment or, I wasn't a singer, dancer. I didn't do any of those things. I was a very shy kid growing up. I was very reserved. I was always worried about what everyone would think about me. And so as much as I wanted to be a part of something, I held myself back because I was just like, oh my God, what if they laugh at me? What if I'm not good enough? So I held myself back a lot from doing things. And then I had my daughter, I have 3 kids. So my daughter is 22. I had my daughter when I was 17. So straight out of high school, I was just like, I'm a parent. And it wasn't anybody else's job to raise my daughter. So, I didn't depend on my mom. I mean, she helped me, but, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go party. I'm going to go do this. It was solely raising our daughter. And then along the line, I had my boys. And then, so later in my life, it was kind of like, I came to a point where I was just like, is this all that life is though? I mean, working and taking care of kids and being a wife, like, life is short. There's got to be something there. And one day I was watching a show, and I don't know, it's like something just clicked in my head, and I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is the same emotions and feelings I was getting from the film. And I've always watched movies and things, but it was just this moment, like it hit me, and I was just like, this is what I want to do. And I took that first step into my acting class, and I've just been going for it. And I'm like, and now it's kind of, it's like, I don't care so much what people think when I'm there, when I'm on set. It's like, I'm just on work mode. I'm like, here we go. I don't know who's watching, what they're thinking, but I'm in the moment, and that's all I care about.
Absolutely. Now, number 11, what attracted you to begin your career?
Um, just that, like, not having anything else outside of being home all the time. I was never a partier, never cared to doing any of that. But I felt like I live for my kids, but one day my kids are gonna leave. They're gonna leave the home, and I don't want to feel like I missed out on anything. I want to go for it. If I succeed, I succeed. If I don't get to where I wanted to be, it's okay, because at least I took that chance and I can say I did it, and be happy with me, with my decision.
I agree to 100%. Number 10, what are some of the roles that you would like to have?
Oh, I would love to do kind of like, oh, what is, like, vampire or like action roles. I have to learn how to do some stunt stuff, but but definitely that's on the top. Or some fantasy films like Avatar. Like, I love those things. I've done a lot of mom roles, and it fits because that's what I am. So I'm really good at that. But yeah, those, I would love to do some action.
Well, number 9 is similar to that. What are some of the best? Well, have you done voiceovers, or would you be interested in voiceovers?
I would love to do voiceovers. I've looked into it. I feel a lot of them ask for prior experience, and so then it kind of like puts me way at the bottom.
Well, I can help you with that. That's easy.
Okay.
If you're interested.
Yeah, I would love to. I've been trying to do it for some time. I even thought about doing the audiobooks, because I was like, I love to read. That's, if I'm not doing anything else, you'll find me in the corner reading. So I'm up for what.
Are you a writer as well?
I'm not, no, but I do. So when I was younger, I used to write a lot. I used to write a lot of poetry. And the older I got, kids' life gets in the way, you kind of stop. And I've started some stories, but it's just getting in that moment to keep it going, So I do love to write too. So that's always been a thing that I want to work on as well, is at some point publishing a book.
Oh, never say never. But the reason I bring up number 9 is, what are some of the best voice, I can do it again, I'm being tongue-tied. What are some of the best voiceover / acting roles you have ever had?
I haven't had any yet, but I want to have some.
Oh,
But I
never
would
say
love.
never.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I definitely want to do that. I think it would be so much fun. To do, even for children. I think that would just be so much fun to go ahead and do.
Well, I have some great ideas I would love to talk to you about off the air,
Yeah.
and then they can use it for experience.
Yeah.
See, it's a win-win.
Exactly. We'll help each other. Thank you.
Well, absolutely. Number 8, what are some of the movies you would like to be doing? I know you mentioned Avatar in the beginning.
I would definitely love. I do love like Western as well, and I love 1950s is my thing. I've always loved the 50s, and so even doing a film like back in that time, or the 1920s, I think that would be so much fun to kind of relive that era and just imagine being a part of it.
Now we're going to change it up with 13 minutes left of the show. I'm going to ask, because these questions are real simple point ones, I'm going to ask you 2 at the same time. Number 7, who do you admire and why? And number 6, what are you most likely to become? Sorry. Number 7, who do you admire and why? And number 6, what are you most likely to become famous for?
Oh, that's a good question. So admire, do you mean like as far as like an actor that I admire, or just
For me, I admire, I'm a big wrestling fan. I admire The Miz. I love The Rock's passion. Sylvester Stallone's a great actor. What about you?
Well, as far as acting, I admire Viola Davis. I think she is amazing. I've seen her take on so many different roles, and the amount of passion in each one. I don't know, it's just like, it just makes you stop and just, you can't, she's just the main focus. So I love that. And I do have to say, I know this is not a famous person or anything like that, or anything that anyone might not.
Please. You're talking about me, right?
But I do, I admire my mom for just, there's 5 of us all together, all 5 girls. And my youngest sister, she actually has a genetic disorder. And so it's very hard on my mom, but she doesn't let that show, you know. She just, it is what it is, and she takes it day by day. And I know there's times that are really rough on her, but you know, and she'll talk about it, but she doesn't let it get her to a point where she's always down or angry at life. So I have to say that. Oh, and my daughter, I want to throw her in there just because I had a child at a young age, and you know, it's kind of like my mom did too. And she's just got a look different, you know, just a different look on life. And she's going to be 23 this year, and her goal is not on anyone else or anything else but school and herself.
No, I agree. And number 6, talking briefly, what are you likely to become famous for?
Oh my goodness. That is hard. Maybe, I don't know, Keith, that's a good question. I've never even thought about, I guess I've never thought about myself becoming famous in anything, you know? So it's tough to say, but
well, we can always get back to that.
Yeah, maybe helping someone. I'd like to think that if I had the opportunity to have finances where I could help a cause, homelessness, anything like that, definitely, yes, anything. Or, you know, like I said, my sister has a disability, so if I could contribute to that foundation to help, like, I think that's what I would be famous for, because I definitely want to be a part of something greater than myself.
Well, I was going to ask number 5, but number 5, it's similar. What is your claim to fame? And number 4, how comfortable are you teasing other people?
Chasing other people?
No, teasing.
Oh, teasing. I was like, I'm not comfortable chasing anyone. Let's see. I teasing in a bad way? No, never.
No, teaching.
Oh, teaching. I'm so sorry. I think I'm pretty comfortable with. I may not know everything, but I'll give the best advice that I possibly have. So I would be comfortable with teaching someone, as long as, if I don't know the answer, I'm always gonna look for it. So so I think I'd be pretty comfortable with teaching someone whatever, or giving advice, anything like that. I've done that with everyone. I'm never one-sided. Anytime I have to be between 2 people, I always look at both sides, and I'm like, whether you agree with it or not, you're gonna hear the truth.
No, I agree. And I just realized I have number 3s on here. I have to fix that somehow. Next 2 I want to ask is, how comfortable are you speaking in front of a group of people? And what are some of your career highlights?
My comfort in speaking in front of people, I'm still a little bit shy, but I think I could get by. I think just got to focus on something else and not not who's watching, right? It's kind of like doing film. And then as far as my highlights, so I started acting it's going to be about 4 years. And I've done a few short films, but my highlight is last year we did JC Films with Dean Cain, and I was actually able to have that one-on-one with him. So that was awesome, because I grew up watching Superman. So, so being able to be there with him was awesome.
Now I'm going to ask you something easy. Well, the last question I was going to ask you is, what is the biggest change? Let's see, do it again. What is the biggest change you want to make in your acting career?
Biggest change I want to do is, I just want to be able to just go for whatever role I see fit. I just want to go for it and just make the best of it. Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of short films and a lot of feature films. I definitely want to focus more on feature films and TV shows. But yeah, I think I just need to put more effort into it to get to where I want to be.
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm going to ask you some fun questions.
Okay.
Wrapping up the show, I do need to talk to you off the air. But
Okay.
the first one is actually a funny one. Are you still there, or did it freeze?
Am I what? Sorry.
Oh, your screen froze.
Oh.
All right, perfect. All right, so the first question I want to ask you, when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal? And did he ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids?
Oh, so no, I was boring. I was always, I'm a homebody, so I've always been that way. So very much so boring. And no, I've never done a human period, though I think it would be fun. Even if we don't make it all the way, I think I would get a kick out of it.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser. So the next one I want to ask you is, I actually haven't used these questions. I actually have a list of words to the wise and personal questions. And you don't have to, it isn't too personal. So I wanted to ask you that. It's not like I'm going to ask you about your boob size or anything. But, it's nothing like that. I promise you, I am very professional. First question I want to ask you is, what's your favorite childhood memory?
Ooh, my favorite childhood memory. I would have to say the time we went to Disney with my mom. It was me and my older sister. We didn't have the other ones yet. But because we were born and raised in New York, so it was our first time like actually traveling somewhere, and we just had a great time. And I still remember that to this day. I remember the stuff we got, these little puppets that we had. The memories go on.
Well, I read that, and I want to ask you, did you go to a high school in the Bronx?
I did. I went to South Bronx High School. So
Do you remember the number?
I don't remember the number, but it was I remember it was on St. Anne's in the Bronx. I don't remember the street. 142 or 149. Oh my God, it's been so many years.
My dad used to be a assistant principal in the South Bronx. He used to work at a Henry Hudson.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Are you familiar with that or no?
Mm-mm. Was that was a high school?
It was Henry Hudson IS 125.
Oh, okay.
And what was funny about that, around the corner, they had a music arts building, and that's where J-Lo went to school.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
No, my dad met a lot of famous people. I used him for an inspiration. He had Wesley Snipes in his class. He had a piece with Al Pacino. He was on the float with John Glenn, and before he sold his soul, Rudy Giuliani, when he was normal, if he ever was normal. Let's see. He met the Wayans brothers. The teacher who married Tony Bennett, he worked with, so you got to meet Tony Bennett. My dad met a lot of interesting people. He had a great career for 46 years.
Wow. Yeah, he did have a lot of people. I was born in the wrong time. That's the problem there.
My dad took his school to Washington, and Newt Gingrich who are these kids? And then I pulled these kids over because they're all wearing hats. So let's take a picture. We also have a picture of, as soon as the picture was done with him, we have a picture of him pushing the kid away afterwards. So we have it saying, pulling the kid towards him. And after he's done, okay, that's enough out of you. We kind of wish we had that picture. We could have. But I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But last one, going real fast. When I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what made you say yes? And would you recommend it to other people?
Absolutely, yes. So what made me say yes, I know Ginger that you had on your show. We met through one of our films, and she had put a post and was like, if we wanted to be part of an interview. And then we responded to her. I DM'd her, and then she gave me some information about what your show was about, and helping you, and just being a part of people with disabilities. And I was just like, absolutely, like, yes, I supported 100%. I was like, I don't even have to know him. He seems like, we'll figure each other out. We'll learn as we go along. And Ginger's a really good person. So I trust her recommendation. So, and I definitely would recommend someone being on your show and having this interview with you. I think it was awesome to get to know you and kind of both of us put our experiences and what we think out here.
Absolutely. Now, wrapping up the show, this will be shared on all social medias. But stay tuned for part 2. Our goal is to reach 100 views. And until we meet again, thank you and have a good night. And I really appreciate you taking the time.
But it's your chance to be ruthless.